And welcome to the OutSystems session here at the Application Architecture Summit, where we'll learn how AI is supercharging low-code app development to create an entirely new level of productivity and creativity for app developers. Our guide this morning is Ed Aviza, Senior Solutions Architect at OutSystems. Ed, welcome.
Thanks. Appreciate being here.
We're glad to have Ed with us this morning. He is a seasoned educator on helping companies understand how modern app development platforms can leverage AI, low code, and visual development for the best outcomes. He brings a holistic view of app architecture, in fact, with a focus on rapid app delivery and deployment with security and compliance. And he's got 20 years across app development, database, and management. So, a really great expert we have for today's session, which is entitled Fast Track AI into Your Custom Apps with OutSystems. As we all know, app architecture and app development is a really exciting space these days. And we're really pleased to have Ed with us this morning as he's going to explore how the worlds of low code visual development and AI are rapidly converging. Let me give you a couple of details. We're going to look at how OutSystems AI infused approach includes full stack development, a Gen AI toolset, pre-built integrations, and even enterprise-grade security. And even better, the part I'm most excited about, Ed is going to give us a great hands-on demo so you can see for yourself what it feels like to build with an AI-infused app platform. So just a quick reminder, before I hand it to Ed, you could download today's slides. I highly recommend you take a look at them. Just click that big red button under the view screen and you'll get them. Also, we've got some other available downloads and even access to a free trial, just one click away and those blue links under the screen. And we love you have you interact with our speakers. So to ask Ed a question, just type that in the submit a question box. So Ed, great session in store. Tell us about Fast Track AI for our custom apps.
All right. Thank you, Vance. Appreciate it. So, as Vance mentioned, I'm a senior solutions architect at OutSystems. We are the industry leader in high performance, low code application development. And today I'm going to present an overview of how OutSystems can accelerate the creation of AI driven custom applications and solutions that can be delivered up to 10 times faster than would be possible using traditional coding techniques. So, who is OutSystems? Well, we are a company that's been around for over 20 years. We have been building low code tools and technologies for that whole time. We invented the category and we've built a platform and an ecosystem with experts in every region worldwide. We have customers and developers in 87 countries covering 24 distinct industries, and our partner network is extensive, so help is always available. Finally, we have a dedicated community of hundreds of thousands of committed developers who have built components for the platform and provide help and guidance to other members around the world. OutSystems is the number one low code application developer platform in the world, but don't just take our word for it. We've been placed in the leadership quadrant not only in the annual Gartner and Forrester research reviews, but also in numerous other reviews, as you can see here. We are also the leader, according to low code platform users, in the G2 Enterprise Grid report of customer satisfaction. As David Lloyd, IT Director of Park Industries, put it, the breadth of capabilities has allowed us to drive our digital transformation goals much more quickly than anticipated. This has led to improved quality, ease of use, an exceptional user experience, and efficiencies resulting in substantial savings. Let's take a look at a high-level overview of the OutSystems platform. OutSystems is a full-stack, full lifecycle, low-code application development platform that empowers customers to integrate and extend their applications across the enterprise to create beautiful, pixel-perfect user experiences across any and all touch points. With OutSystems, you have everything you need to create and deploy applications that integrate with your existing systems or external services, and it can run on any device, all in a single platform. When we call OutSystems a full stack platform, what we mean is that you can build apps from the ground up. Everything needed from the front end to the back end is included in the platform. Think of it as building with powerful building blocks that automate and accelerate a bunch of tedious and error-prone tasks. You can connect out of the box to the most common enterprise databases like Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, and many others. You can connect to any web service. The platform takes care of everything. You can quickly integrate REST or SOAP APIs, cloud services, enterprise systems, or any database. And if you need to extend the platform with custom code, you most certainly can. With OutSystems, developers are always in control of what they create. The platform also provides a full DevOps solution out of the box that supports the continuous delivery and continuous integration of your applications and can also be integrated with your enterprise DevOps tools. We support the entire development lifecycle. You can create and debug applications visually, test them directly on mobile devices or in the browser, deploy them across environments, capture feedback directly in the apps, and monitor them with a sophisticated set of dashboards and management tools. Everybody in your team has the power to deploy with a single click. The platform handles all the dependency analysis, code compilation, and database scripts, so your architecture never breaks. There's no need to establish complex technology stacks to achieve true continuous integration and continuous delivery. And if you already have a DevOps practice, the platform gives you the integration points to fit your existing processes. The OutSystems platform enables teams like yours to create a wide range of rich and engaging digital experiences. You can create user interfaces for any type of form factor, web and mobile, and things you may not even be thinking about yet, like chatbots and integration with virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa. Thinking about your digital experiences in a different way means reaching any and all touch points, and we ensure that your user interface looks great, regardless of the design skills of the developer. We're a complete end-to-end application platform, not a bunch of components cobbled together. Your applications are architected for scale and performance out of the box, and we have 200 plus automatic security checks across the full stack and the apps you build. The apps created with OutSystems are also highly scalable. We have customers with millions of end users hitting the platform, and we offer deployment flexibility. Most customers use our cloud offering, but many choose to use their own public or private cloud or on premises in their own data centers. In terms of artificial intelligence, OutSystems has been infusing AI into our platform for years. You could say that AI is in our DNA. We've long been a recognized leader in AI driven software development, and we have the patents and research papers to prove it. So, how does OutSystems power our customers to build AI infused systems and solutions? First of all, we help by building AI models into your OutSystems applications, which opens doors to new opportunities for innovation and speed to market. Our visual development paradigm makes it easy to build applications quickly, and integrating GPTs and retrieval augmented generation into your custom applications creates exceptional customer experiences that can transform how you do business with them. Your pixel perfect applications will be a base from which your users can improve productivity with AI content generation and summarization, semantic search capabilities, and process automation for fraud detection, data categorization, and many other use cases. We also have an open source code repository called The Forge. There you'll find modules, connectors, and UI components to help speed up delivery time. We have nearly 7,000 connectors to date with millions of downloads. Here you can see some examples of readily available free components that you can easily incorporate into your apps to add the latest AI and machine learning capabilities without having to learn the technical details of integration. If there isn't an existing connector that meets your needs, you can create your own with our platform and share it with the community and with your team. As I mentioned, OutSystems has been infusing AI capabilities into our platform for years. We call them AI mentors. Our code mentor eases the way for developers to build high quality applications with just in time help and information when they need it the most. In ODC, our visual IDE, the code mentor guides developers as they work, providing hints and suggestions for next steps, showing warnings and errors in real time, and enabling a single click to find and fix those errors. The IDE is context aware and always alert, simplifying the process of debugging and correcting problems during development. Building requests and queries using natural language accelerates developer productivity significantly compared to building queries using SQL or another query language. And our full stack IDE gives you a live view of your query results so you can make changes quickly if the results are not as expected. Finally, your SDLC can be optimized to prevent the accumulation of technical debt in your application portfolio. The architecture, maintainability, performance, and security mentors keep watch over the entire lifecycle of your applications to ensure that architecture standards are consistently followed and that applications are built according to best practices to ensure that they can be updated and enhanced over time while maintaining high performance and meeting your security requirements. Architecture Mentor provides a visual, interactive heat map of your app portfolio, giving you an easy read of structural issues that impact your application's performance and maintainability. Maintainability Mentor discovers findings around code patterns that impact your ability to maintain apps over time, as well as security vulnerabilities. And it provides a technical debt score, giving you the ability to prioritize your efforts to alleviate issues. Okay, now for the fun part. It's time for a demo of 3 use cases that can help you visualize some of the ways that integrated AI can enhance your applications. Let's dive in. I'm going to start with a use case for a field services technician who has a tablet they take on their travels throughout the day. As you can see on the screen, we have a beautiful visual dashboard with maps and some interactive widgets, including customer satisfaction and other information. This application also has features like managing work orders and inventory requirements for the day. For example, the tech can pick up their items at the warehouse, and the UI allows the user to simply drag and drop items they need into the bucket to complete the load up for their truck. This app also supports offline usage on a mobile device and automatic synchronization of data when the tech reconnects to the internet. When we go to our work order screen, we can see an embedded AI that allows optimization of the tech's route. When they click this button, the AI will do a little thinking, and then it will display the streaming results in real time on the left-hand side of the screen. You can also see that the developer created an animation that traces the route and drops pins at every location for the day's activities. When it's finished, the AI will tell you the reasoning behind this particular routing choice. The AI's explanation tells us that it's sorted by priority and whether the tech was overdue at a location. So you can see exactly how the AI arrived at this optimized route. The second use case is an insurance portal. And you can see that we have this very attractive landing page with branding and vibrant imagery. And customers can request quotes for insurance and learn about various policies and options that are available for them to consider. When I get back to the top, I'm going to complete the steps of the wizard. So I'll begin by putting in my name, and then I'll complete a birth date. Next step will be to enter an address, and I'm just going to randomly type some numbers. I'm not going to use my real address, and I'll select the first address that comes up in the search. And then finally, I'll need to answer some additional questions about our house, including the year it was built, the size in square meters, the number of stories, and whether or not we have a pool. And once I have the quote, I'll be able to see what's included and any additional coverages that I may want to add. If I'm ready, I can immediately activate the policy. However, the AI comes into play when I decide to click the compare button. And what this does is allows me to submit a second quote, which I have in this PDF document that I received from another insurance carrier. When I go back to my form, I'll submit that file to the AI, which is going to compare the two policies. As the AI begins to stream the results back to our app, I'll not only get a comparison on specific points, but also a recommendation for the best policy for my needs. Now, my final use case uses one of OutSystems' newest AI capabilities called AI Agent Builder. You can see here that there are predefined agents available that you can use right from this page. Let's try the Zendesk Ticket Deflection app. When you open an existing agent, you can see that there are multiple AI models you can choose from, and we'll continue to add additional models over time. To build an agent, you simply enter natural language instructions in the text box. And if you want to use retrieval augmented generation, you can click the toggle to add a data source to enable RAG automatically. When I ask the agent about payment options, the obvious response is that the AI doesn't have a store, which makes sense because I haven't configured any data source. Nonetheless, the agent provides some helpful general information about payment policies that are common in the marketplace. Now, going back to the home screen, you can view available templates you can use and any agents that may have been built by members of your team. For our demo, I'm just going to create an agent from scratch. Now, coming in here, I'm just going to ask the agent a question again about a return policy this time. And as we saw on the last screen, the agent responds, and this time maybe a little sarcastically, that it doesn't have a store because it's only an AI assistant. To make this work, I need to enter some instructions. So first, I'll ask the agent to ensure that all responses have a welcome message and that it must let users know very clearly if it doesn't know the answer. I'll click the toggle to grab some data from a data source in Google Drive. And once I use that data source, we are now automatically using retrieval augmented generation to answer customer questions. When I submit the same question, now we can see some good results coming back from our request. The repository can be a Google Drive like this, and here you can see we have a bunch of FAQ documents in the drive. You can also use a storage bucket like on AWS or Azure Storage. And once I've added the instructions and my RAG is enabled, I can save the agent. I'll give it a name, and then I'm going to copy the ID of the agent so I can use it when building or updating my application. Now, Neo Surf Shop is an example of an application that was built using OutSystems, and it has a nice branded experience for customers. If I submit a request here, I'll get an error that there's no agent connected to the app, so I'll need to switch over to ODC Studio to fix this. Here's the ODC Studio workspace. The central pane is called the canvas, and the left-hand pane is a collection of widgets you can use to build your UI. The panes are dynamic, so if you're building client or server actions, you'll see code elements like switch statements and for each loops. At the bottom, the output window provides warnings, errors, and build information. OutSystems has full role-based access control, so I get security warnings about public access. I'll keep it public just for the demo. The next tab is our debugger, where you can set breakpoints, view variable values, step over and step into actions. You can even debug mobile devices. The final tab at the bottom displays the output from our one-click publish process, which builds and stages your application in the development environment. The right-hand pane displays elements related to your screens, as well as properties for those elements, which are grouped in UI flows that group screens according to specific functional areas of your app. The properties window is also context sensitive and allows you to set values, create and handle events, change UI elements, among other tasks. Now we can build the app logic. When I click the send question button on the input field, it will launch a screen action that calls a server action that we see here called generate AI response. An if statement, the blue diamond on the canvas, is the first step. This is where the error message was thrown when I submitted my previous request. If the agent is properly configured, the action moves forward to call the call agent service action. Here, I'll need to add my agent ID that I copied from the app as an input parameter to the action. Notice that when I delete the agent variable, the properties window, the blue open in browser button turns red briefly to let you know an error has been introduced. Code agent is live on the job. I'm just going to use a string literal for this demo. Now, continuing the tour of the IDE, we have an events tab where you can build timers and batch processes and events for asynchronous processing. We have the elements tab that we've already seen with the UI flows and screen actions. There are other resources like images and themes and design patterns, as well as scripts you can use. And the logic tab is where you create client actions, server actions, and service actions, as well as your integrations to external systems and REST APIs, which can be both consumed and exposed from your app. Importing the AI agent builder is very simple. Just click on the public elements icon that looks like an electrical plug and search for AI. Any public element available to you in your environment can be added to enhance your application. You can select any or all of the items exposed by the element, and when you're done choosing the items, you just simply click the Add button, and those actions, data structures, or other elements that are needed for the agent will be immediately available for you to build with in ODC. Finally, I'll briefly show the Data tab, which is where you can create the databases and structures to support your app's functionality, as well as where any connected external databases will be available for you to use. When no errors are found, the one-click publish button turns green, and when you click that, your code is uploaded to the servers, compiled and deployed, all database scripts and code are generated, and when the button turns blue again, you're ready to open your application. Switching back to my browser, any design changes I made in ODC Studio will be immediately apparent, and now I can test the app by asking the same question. What's your return policy? My Neo Surf Shop support agent is now ready for my customers, and I can deploy the app to the next stage of my SDLC process. So as you can see, OutSystems make it super easy to infuse AI capabilities into your apps. And what you can build is only limited by your imagination. So what's next at OutSystems in the realm of AI-enriched application development? Welcome to Project Morpheus. When we say change is the new build, we're talking about a world where developers can iterate full applications by simply asking for them. If you prompt Morpheus to build something and then want to change it, just ask. As you flesh out the vision of your application, the AI-powered suggestions help you make decisions and design choices that allow you to iterate using declarative natural language. The applications produced can then be opened in ODC Studio, where developers can finesse the design and build deeper functionality into them by adding integrations, components, data, and of course, more code. Let's take a sneak peek at Project Morpheus. To generate an app, type your prompt in and click the button to get the app. The search results will include any previously generated apps in your organization which are visible to you, as well as suggestions to generate new apps. Hovering over any of the apps or suggestions will provide a description of the key capabilities of the app, as well as the major tables that will be generated. Clicking on one of the apps will show additional details, including screen previews, and you can edit the suggested data tables right here in place to add or remove them as you like. The generated apps will have key features like login screens, so authentication can be built in from the start. Sample users and data can be generated so you can explore the application from the perspective of users in different roles without having to authenticate yourself every time. An example of a simple dashboard shows not only relevant metrics based on the purpose of your application, but also a menu which will list screens for viewing and updating tabular data. List screens will have built-in search, pagination, and create, read, update, and delete capabilities out of the box. And a setup screen makes it easy to download and populate data into the application using Excel spreadsheets. From here, a developer can open the new application in ODC Studio and customize it as needed to add capabilities, update UI UX design, and add any other improvements or customizations required. Okay, so now that you've seen how OutSystems can help you build AI-powered applications quickly with our platform, let's take a quick look at what drives value for our customers. Now, I'm not going to dive into all details on this slide, and you'll be able to download a copy of this in presentation. So I'll encourage you to do that after this presentation is finished. But first, I'll direct you to the very bottom of the screen. And the bottom line here is that by using the OutSystems platform, our customers have been able to improve the return on investment from their IT and digital transformation spending by a factor of 3 to 4 times. OutSystems will drive value for your organization, help you build better apps faster, and give you an edge in the world of digital transformation. Thanks for your time. If you'd like to schedule a demo of Project Morpheus or the OutSystems platform in general, please visit the URLs shown here. Okay, so that includes my formal presentation. Vance, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and let's see if there are any questions.
Awesome. Ed, really great overview. And boy, what a great demo. I think that people really got a sense of how AI and low code together can really change how we totally think about not just app development, but app engagement with the actual customer and user. So really, really great session.
Thank you, Vance. Appreciate that.
And you mentioned questions, as you might expect. We've got quite a handful here, and they're kind of top level as well as they go into some of the features that we didn't really have a lot of time to go into specifics. So with your permission, let's get to the questions.
Fantastic. Let's do it.
You spent a few minutes about the Forge, that component repository you talked about, and it wasn't totally clear where that came in during some of your great demo screens. So the question here is, Talk a little bit more about the usability of the Forge and how we use it day to day to design and build an application.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the Forge is really easy to use. When I added the AI agent builder to the application, that was a Forge component that I added to my application. And OutSystems Developer Cloud, or ODC, has not only the ODC Studio, which is the IDE where developers work, we also have a management portal that allows you to set up users, view traces and logs for your application, configure settings and privacy security parameters for your applications. So the Forge would be accessible from that portal. In there, you simply go in and do a search for whatever you want. You can look for AWS or Azure, and whatever components are available in there will come up in the list. And you simply click a button, and that component will be added to your ODC environment.
Oh, that's great. So it's akin to what some folks might be familiar with other SaaS systems that might be on the app side, like a Salesforce or other people, where you've got a whole collection of pre-registered, pre-certified components that I can go search and then just put into my either design time or runtime. Is that a fair way to think about it?
Absolutely. And it would be in your design time, which then you would work with it in there. And then when you run the application, that component would provide those services needed. So it's a very easy to use system that allows you to really greatly extend your applications by using components that are built, some of them by OutSystems, some of them are built by our partners, and many of them are built by many of the thousands of community members that we have in our OutSystems community. I would say probably 90 to 95% of the components at least are going to be free for developers. Mhm.
Another question here, Ed. A lot of folks are working in the world of composite applications, or they need certainly to get data, as you showed us in the demos. Let's talk about integration. The question here says, what integrations are supported out of the box with OutSystems Developer Cloud?
So out of the box, we support dozens and dozens of systems. You have the ability to, for example, use Microsoft Azure, SQL, Oracle, Postgres. We can integrate with SAP. You can integrate with Salesforce. The number of pre-existing out-of-the-box integrations is significant. So I've given you maybe half a dozen already, but SAP, Salesforce, ERP systems of all kinds are supported. And if we don't have a out of the box integration, it's very easy to use REST APIs or SOAP to integrate with those, or to use some of the tools that we have that can help customers build their own integrations using, say, the Azure SDK or Microsoft Graph 8 SDK, those types of things. So we make it very easy to extend your applications, like I said, and if the out of the box components don't match your needs, if maybe there's a specialized enterprise system that you're using, you can certainly build it yourself.
Fantastic. And just to highlight how easy these integrations are, I didn't see a lot of coding in there. When you talk about out of the box integrations, just give us a flavor of how do I actually engage or implement or even test those integrations?
You would just simply drag and drop the elements from the integration right in there. So for example, if you need to get data from SAP, you can create a server action with a number of steps, and then you simply call out to that integration, get me some data, and you pass parameters to it with whatever requirements are there to get your data, set up your query, whatever you need to do, and you can use it just like that. It's very easy to use without using much code at all.
Awesome, totally awesome. Ed, here's another issue that goes to the point not just of development, but to operations or deployment. One of your demos there, especially the one about getting insurance for my house, looked like that would be something that you might have many hundreds or more people using at the same time. And the question here says, how does ODC handle scale for high demand applications? And have you noticed any limits?
Great question, Vance. And we have not noticed any limits. In fact, ODC is designed on a very modern cloud native application platform. It utilizes Kubernetes on the back end. It utilizes these containers to store the applications. We have auto scaling built right in. So because it's Kubernetes, if there's high demand, we can auto scale vertically by adding additional resources, or horizontally by adding additional instances or pods in the Kubernetes environment, right? Scalability is really not a problem. It's a very highly scalable. We have a CDN in place, very secure as well. We have all sorts of security checks throughout the platform, numerous certifications, ISO certifications, SOC 2, things like that, HIPAA as well. So take seriously the whole process of making sure that things work well, are scalable, highly performant, and very secure as well. We have extensive documentation on how to develop and architect and deploy your apps with best practices that'll lower your technical debt, increase your performance, and make sure that your application works as expected for your end users.
It's really exciting because not only are you a low code AI infused platform, but you're kind of an incubation platform for new ideas. Just the idea that someone in the insurance business could say, wouldn't it be nice if we could do this? And then whether it's 2 hours or 2 days, a developer can come back and say, is this what you're talking about? That is pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Project Morpheus, I think on that slide, it said change is the new build. And I think the idea there is just don't worry so much about all the upfront stuff. I mean, of course, once you get to a point you need to enhance and enrich an application, you're going to have to put together requirements and all those types of things. But the idea of change being the new build means you can experiment freely and easily and quickly. And that's one thing that I personally really love about OutSystems. It makes it easy to experiment and go down paths you might not otherwise have gone down because the application platform makes it easy for you to make experiments, to do different things, and just roll it back. In the IDE, you have the ability to check previous versions. It's all built in there. Let's say I made a bunch of changes and, oh gosh, the one from yesterday is the one I really want to keep. I can roll it back right in the IDE to that version, publish it out to the servers, and off we go.
Really exciting times we're in, Ed, and really exciting technology here from OutSystems. Speaking of experiment, I think a lot of our folks here that we presented to would love to go hands-on or do some experimenting on their own. Talk again about the options that people have to either go hands-on or get a one-on-one demo, a trial. What's our next step?
Well, if the thank you screen is still up, there's a link there. It's basically www.outsystems.com/contact-sales. If you go to that link, you can request a demo. I'm happy. I would love to give demos of Product Morpheus. We've been working with that for a while now. Customers love it when we get into the weeds a little bit more on that. So anyway, at any rate, even if you don't go to that particular URL, just hit us up at outsystems.com. You can look around for information. We have an evaluation guide there, tons of information, tons of documentation. You can learn all about our products, and you can contact us through that website, and we'd be more than happy to set up a demo to discuss AI Agent Builder, Project Morpheus, or anything else you want to discuss about OutSystems.
Really excellent. Love options here at the Application Architecture Summit. And speaking of which, we worked with Ed's team pretty closely to get really some top level links to get you some more factual information about the ODC platform, but also to get in touch with Ed and his team so you can go hands on. Take a look at those links below, including ones to check out whether you can get a free trial as well as a personalized demo. And as you can tell, innovation is just beginning at OutSystems. For all that we learned today, there's a ton more going on in the next chapter. Here's a slide that'll take you directly to the OutSystems website where we put some other great links. Download Ed's slide this morning. All these links will be live. You can get right to them. Let me thank again our great speaker, Ed Aviza, Senior Solutions Architect at OutSystems. Ed, a really terrific session.
Appreciate it, Vance. Thanks, and have a great day.
Yeah, absolutely. You too. And thanks again to the audience. Really great questions. We really got to the heart of the convergence of low code AI. Thanks for your questions. Hope you enjoyed the session.